Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Reaching here back again from the Red Planet Wrestling. I know it's been quite a while since I've made sort of a one-on-one talky type video. Just been a little bit busy. Feel like that's always the case every time I come back onto this channel. As you can see, I'm tired. I'm very tired. I've consumed a lot of pro wrestling within these last couple of days. I'm going to do my best to not ramble as much as I usually do because I don't feel like doing too much editing. Again, I'm tired. So we're going to try to keep this short, concise, simple, straight to the point. I mean, as you can tell, this is a very impromptu video. It is close to 11:30. If not, it is 11:30 p.m. at my time on Sunday. I didn't have time to prepare, set, whatever. Just whipped out the camera, the freaking lights, the microphone. Still got that. Got my buddy's shirt here, Wrestle Rant. My good friend Graham over at Wrestle Rant. Shout out to him. Check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. Speaking of links in the description box, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all down below as well if you want to follow me on the socials. Any and everything, all down there. Check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification icon, all that good stuff. Anyways, WrestleMania 41 was the showcase of the letdowns. This felt like a very Vince McMahon booked show. And what I mean by that is that in comparison to previous PLEs, even just regular television that we've seen since the Triple H era really started, when Vince McMahon got the boot, now he's rotting in hell as he deserves. Drawing comparisons to all of those shows since to tonight, or this weekend rather, the booking leading up to WrestleMania, there was already complaints leading up to it that everything wasn't living up to the hype. Things didn't feel too personal, whether that was feuds or whatever the case may be. And there were occasions where they injected some life into certain feuds that needed it the most, mainly Jey Uso and Gunther, and we had the whole Jimmy Uso beatdown. And then, of course, with Cena and Cody, and they had a little verbal sparring, if you will, a couple of times, and they got physical, whatever. So we definitely needed that. One of the better stories heading into WrestleMania was with Naomi and Jade and Bianca, but then they decided to throw Bianca into the world title picture with Io and Rhea, so that kind of jumbled things up a little bit, which caused now Bianca to get booed recently, which has been just completely whatever. I'm not going to open up that can of worms. And even recently, Cody Rhodes getting booed too, which is also just completely just fickle and annoying, because those are just two pure white meat baby faces and they're getting booed for no reason. But again, can of worms, I digress. This WrestleMania, again, going back to what I said, feeling like a very Vince McMahon booked show. Just the storylines weren't it. The build-up wasn't it. The pacing of the matches were very fast, especially on night one. The booking of their overall matches too, the stories, some of the stories that were being told in the ring, they just didn't deliver. And I mean, neither did the stories heading into WrestleMania as well. But sometimes there's been occasions where leading up to a PLE, pay-per-view, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, whatever the case may be, storylines aren't all that, but the matches still deliver. Case in point, I didn't really care for the Jacob Fatu LA Knight story, but that was one of the better matches on night one. Those two guys went out there and almost stole the show if it wasn't for the triple threat main event with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Even though we all knew what the outcome of that match was going to be, with Paul Heyman aligning himself with Seth Rollins, the match still delivered. That was probably one of the better stories heading into WrestleMania, and it didn't even have a title involved. And then again, walking back on what I said too, with Jade and Naomi, one of the better storylines heading into WrestleMania as well. No title involved, two black women having a singles match at a WrestleMania. Amazing. We love that. Love to see that. And I thought Jade did a pretty good job. Naomi held her own as well. There are a couple of slippery like slopes here and there, which is totally fine. But other than that, they did pretty good. But I'd say between that match, the second half of Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, and then of course the triple threat main event, night one was horrible. Horrible. One of the worst night one events since WWE started doing the dual night extravaganza, if you will. Night two started off strong. Started off great. Great opener. Another great triple threat match. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, proving why they are the mainstays of the women's division, why they are the best of the women's division. Quite frankly, proving why they're three of the best talents in that entire company. I thought the right woman went over. I was very surprised that Bianca Belair took the pinfall. So her WrestleMania streak is over. So her and Undertaker have something to, talk about backstage. And yeah, everything else after that, we just kept having banger after banger, to borrow a phrase from Sheamus, who was absent at WrestleMania, but that's fine. Damian and Drew did a great job. A lot of people were saying, oh, we don't want to see this match, this is a blah blah blah, whatever. They delivered. They were making chicken salad out of chicken shit, as the saying goes. With whatever little bit that they were given, they took that inch and made a mile out of it. So kudos to those two men. Great match. The fatal four-way match for the IC title, great action. Some really cool spots. Braun Breaker is an absolute freaking nature, and Dominic Mysterio getting a massive pop for winning, incredible. That was awesome. So that obviously we all knew that was going to happen too, but we wanted it, and everybody loved it, so that was cool. And it was going so well. And Joe Hendry, which was, I don't think anybody saw that coming. I was under the impression that it was Rusev, because they had the whole Aleister Black vignette on SmackDown this past Friday. So it wasn't going to be him. So I was like, oh man, it's going to be Rusev. And you don't want either one of those two to lose. So it was kind of like a bit of a slippery slope. On the flip side, you have TNA's world champion, Joe Hendry, jobbing to Randy Orton. However, this is a TNA world champion competing at WrestleMania. So that is quite the exposure for the brand, for that company, which is awesome. So I'm happy for them on that front. It is a bit of a shame that Joe Hendry had to take the L, who is their champion. But it was to Randy Orton, so whatever. If they want to, they could always revisit that at Backlash St. Louis, whatever. And then that's kind of where just things went downhill, really. I didn't care for AJ Styles and Logan Paul. They were trying. The match was fine. I just thought the finish was silly with the whole Karrion Kross interference and whoever the hell that random ass white dude who looks like he shops at Gap was. I don't know. Who cares? So AJ did the job to Logan, which was crazy at WrestleMania. And before I get into the tag match and the main event, I forgot to mention the opening match of night one. My brain is so fried. Just, again, so much wrestling. I'm tired. That match was not it. I really wanted to see a little bit more aggression from Jey Uso, considering the fact that Gunther almost murdered his freaking brother. I wanted to see a little bit more aggression from Jey. I wanted to see him bring the fight to Gunther. And then, of course, you can have Gunther get the upper hand, just overpowering Jey Uso towards, like, the beginning of the middle portion of the match, and then have the babyface fight back and do whatever and get the victory. Also, the finish did not do it any favors at all. I get the whole numerous splashes off the top ropes, because that's what happened to Jimmy. But, man, the whole tap out thing in like 2 seconds, at least have the man pass out. Just it looked, Gunther looked it made Gunther look like a chump, and that type of finish really just takes the wind out of Jey Uso's sails. So I don't think that's gonna really do him any favors in the long run. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more of the crowds and upcoming shows turning on Jay, which would be unfortunate, but that's just the outcome of how that match was booked. The tag match for the women's tag team titles, I could not care for it for the life of me, no matter how hard they tried. Uh, First off, Raquel doesn't do anything for me at all. Liv Morgan, she's been such a freaking workhorse these last couple of months, if not like year or 2 years. So shout out to her. But the pairing of your inaugural women's intercontinental champion with a makeshift tag team not too far removed from WrestleMania with Bayley, only to then pull Bayley off of WrestleMania to then have a returning Becky Lynch, which everybody saw coming the moment that they announced that Liv Morgan and Raquel attacked Bayley, was just another attempt at, hey, here's this ragtag tag team that we just drew out of nowhere just to get Becky Lynch back in action. Good for her. Cool. Happy to have her back. Doesn't do anything for me. And then the fact that they also dethroned Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez of the women's tag team championships. Silly outcome. I would have much rather have seen, screw it, give me Bayley and Lyra again. I don't care. Get Lyra and the women's intercontinental championship on the card. And then Chelsea Green wasn't even on the card either. Screw it. Give me her and Meechin again. Have Meechin win. I don't care. Just something to make me know that you guys actually care about the fact that women's mid-card titles were introduced. Just, build up the prestige of these titles. Make them mean something. Stone Cold crashed into a woman, which was pretty funny. She oversold the shit out of that, but she's gonna get some comp tickets, I'm sure. Nick Khan was seen talking to her at ringside, and Austin apologized like twice. She got all Karen and stuff. It's like, fuck off. You're in the front row. Wrestlers do shit in the front row all the time. Get out of here with that bullshit. But hey, kudos to her. If it happened to me, I'd be telling everybody who will listen that I got freaking skid marks all over my face by Stone Cold's ATV, but it's neither here nor there. Main event. People in Vegas pissed me the fuck off. Bianca getting booed, Cody then getting booed. Now, here's the situation. It was a tough one because if you have Cena lose, the heel turn would have been for nothing. Of course, you can keep him heel and then still have him terrorizing the shit out of Cody Rhodes, but it would just be silly. You want Cena to get that 17th championship victory at one of the biggest shows, and it's his last WrestleMania since he's retiring at the end of this year. So going into WrestleMania, Cena had to win. I was completely fine with that. Big time Cody crybaby over here. Love Cody Rhodes, but he needed to drop the belt to solidify this heel turn that happened at Elimination Chamber. I wasn't counting on The Rock to come. I knew that fucker wasn't going to show up. He didn't make it, he made it pretty transparent that he was not going to be at WrestleMania. So I wasn't even counting on that whatsoever. No surprise, nothing. Travis Scott, couldn't give two shits about the guy. He showed his ugly mug again. Cody got his receipt, kind of, but not really. And then Cody just gets kicked in the nuts again. Looks like a fucking stupid chump. Cena gets the victory. It was a fine match. It was going okay. Cena was actually getting some offense, which we haven't seen him do in years every time he's had a match. Besides, of course, Elimination Chamber and I guess Royal Rumble earlier in the year. He was just getting his ass handed to him. I mean, look at his match with Austin Theory. Complete snooze fest. He barely did anything in that match. He didn't even hit an AA in that match. And he took the L. So nice to see Cena, working a bit of a more methodical pace, which goes hand in hand with the fact that he's a heel now. So cool. But the ending to that match was just booked so horribly. And now we're circling back to how it just feels like such a Vince McMahon type style of booking. It really felt like he was just in the back, like rewriting the script, or like he just wrote the entire like show for WrestleMania and was like, this is gonna happen, and then Cody's gonna get hit in the nuts, and then the crowd's gonna go crazy, and then John Cena wins. I don't care anymore, man. I'm tired. I just needed to vent and, kind of relinquish some frustrations with this year's WrestleMania. I wouldn't say I was close, but I was highly contemplating going numerous amount of times with a couple of buddies of mine, and I'm glad I didn't. I entered a couple of sweepstakes to try and win tickets, at least 5. Didn't win. Guess it was for a reason. I would have been bitching right now. I would have been livid in the hotel with my wife, chewing her ear off, and she would have been pissed. But that's neither here nor there. So I guess it was probably, fate that I ended up watching it at home so I can bitch in the comfort of my office in front of my Google Pixel 8 Pro in front of probably 20 people that are going to watch this video. So hello, everybody. If you made it this far into the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications so you never miss an upload or possible live stream. I have streamed some WWE 2K in the past, looking to bring some 2K25 gameplay, some more of it at least, to the channel. And then hopefully we can, keep pumping out some content for this channel as well with any upcoming shows or, just sort of opinion pieces like this, if you want to call it that. And as I made mention at the top of the video, in the description box down below, you're going to find the link to my buddy's YouTube channel, WrestleRant. Go check him out. He's been doing this for like 10 years, if not longer, 15 years maybe. So check him out. Solid dude, solid opinions, solid content. So got to plug him. Wearing the shirt after all. And if you want to follow me on the socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all that good stuff, also in the description box down below. Other than that, love, peace, and chicken grease. I will catch you all in the next video, whenever that may be. And yeah, see you on the flip side.
It was my life, my time, my rights, my rhymes, my grind, my struggle, hustle, sweat in my blood too. A predator smells fear, I smell a lot. My competitors flex here. They smelled I was hot. I want it all. Excess, the sex, much success, stress us. I want it all, no less.